Alright guys, welcome back to the next episode. And today in the shop we have a 2001 Ford Ranger. And it's in 4. Come under here. We're going to be doing a clutch job on this one. We're going to do the clutch, slave, and all that good stuff that goes along with it. We're going to put a front pinion seal in it. You can see this is more than just a leak. You can see it's been flinging it all the way up into here. So we got a clutch, pinion seal, and then we're coming out here and we're going to be doing the cab corner too. Come out here and I got it up on the hoist so I could look underneath it. Otherwise this is a really clean truck. We'll have to do a spare tire carrier too. It broke on here. Alright guys, welcome back. We got our Ranger. We got the clutch in today. Now there are a couple of different ways to do this. First way, open the door, take out your wallet, and just throw money at it. Usually doesn't work. Second way, again, open the door. And we were told we had to put a clutch in it. We're going to take our clutch. Done. That will be monies, please. Now there's a third way that you usually have to do it, and that's to use that guy. And I think that's the way we're going to have to do this one because the money just seems to be laying there. The clutch is in the truck, but I bet if we hit our clutch pedal, we're in neutral. There's first, and we're not wanting to slide into second. There it went. But anyway, this truck has trouble going into gears. I went reverse, but that's the problem he's having. And it's making some noise. So we'll show you how to do the clutch in this. First thing we're gonna do, the only thing we're gonna do on the ground is we're gonna pull this up, get that bolt loose off there, and that'll pull this whole shifter off and make it a lot easier to drop the transmission and transfer case down. So we'll do that, get her up in there, and I'll see you guys then. All right, we're up in the air. We're gonna drop our transmission and transfer case down. So the first thing we're gonna do is take out our rear and our front drive shaft. And your drive shafts are just put in with these 12 points. I think they're 12 mil if I remember right. There's 4 there, 4 up there, and the front is different. Those are a star focus right there. That's either a 27 or a 30. And I got all my stuff here. I got sockets, Pittsburgh ratchet, Matco wobble, an SK standard, a Duralast ratchet, and Mac stars. So I don't discriminate so far. That's all I need. And I think we'll try a 27 so you know for sure, because I'm going to skip all this. I'll just show you when they're out. 27 fits, let's try a 30. There you go, 30. T30. There you go. So if you're doing it, that's how you do it. I'm going to fast forward through all this so you'll just see it when it's all done. But drive shafts, and I'll bring you back. All right, got a drive shaft out. I'm going to leave this in here. We're going to try and slide it down around the transmission cross member so we don't have to mess with all these little bolts right here. But we got up here, electrical tape around so you don't lose your end caps off your U-joint. Our rear one is out, laying on the floor over there. And now we're going to work on our exhaust. So you got one O2 sensor that plugs in up here. And all you do is push in on this little clip right here. Push down with that, or get a flathead screwdriver in there if you don't have any fingernails or anything. So just push down and pull it out. There's one right here. There's one right here behind this cat and before your other cat here. So you got one on the passenger side and then one in front of this one. And I actually pulled the tire off and you can see it right there. And the wire is clearing the hell up there, and you're gonna cut your hand or your arm. Let's see. We can see the red mark on my arm, and that's right at my elbow almost. So that's that far up in there is where that clip is. We got those off. We're gonna get our 2 bolts off of each exhaust manifold there. Now, I don't have an induction heater, and 9 times out of 10, you're gonna twist off them nuts on those. So I'm gonna grab my torch. I'm gonna heat up the nuts, and then I'm gonna take a big long bar and extension with a 15 mil, and we're gonna see if we can't break them loose off of there without breaking a stud. And then we're gonna come back to, I think here is probably our best bet. Do the same thing there, because you can see if I can zoom on the threads. Those things are nasty. If I break this, it's not bad, it's right here. If I break them up there, it's just a mess and a lot more work. So we're gonna do that, and this, and then we'll come back. If we don't have any problems, we'll be happy. If we have problems up there, not happy. So I'll do that and we'll come right back. All right, and we're back. We got our exhaust off. Pulled it off back here. I had this section here and I got these off, and I am happy because we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. The stud came out with that one, which is the worst part about it, and that's not bad. So I put my bolts back in. It's a good habit to always put your bolts back in here. I didn't heat those guys. I heated this one here. You can tell it's blue. These other ones are rust colored. So you can tell I didn't heat them. They come off pretty easy. So I'll have to get a new gasket for this. But I pulled it off in 2 pieces because I couldn't get it around the transmission cross member. Ooh, right here. And then I also pulled this off, which is a 19. That's your mounting bolt for your exhaust around the catalytic converters. So now what we're going to do is attempt to pull our slave cylinder connection out, and then we'll have to pull our wiring harnesses out. My bolt's back in here. If you guys don't do this, either put them in a baggie and mark it with a baggie what they are, or you get in a bad habit of leaving them on the hoist and then not remembering what goes where. So there's a good habit to get into, is just put your bolts back where you got them. We'll pull the starter loose off of here. All right, we got our wiring harness undone. Sitting off to the side, I just looped around your torsion bar over here. Now, your slave cylinder, you see this little plastic piece on here. It sits out here, and all you have to do is push it in, and it'll pop this right out. All I had was a pair of pliers. I just looped around it, pushed it in, popped it out. We got that done. We got our wiring harness done. The starter's out. I don't need to pull it down or unhook it. I just needed them bolts to be out of our bell housing. So now all I got is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna pull these guys off, get ready to pull this mount off, and then we'll grab our transmission jack and get ready to drop it. All right, while I'm waiting for a guy to show up to help me with balancing the transmission and transfer case, I'm gonna do the pinion seal. I pulled the nut off of it, and you can immediately see, I don't know how well it's gonna show up with this, but let's zoom in here. Just the movement it has up and down. And it's already leaking. So I bet we pulled out the rubber would be shot in there. So, all right, got it pulled off, and I found our problem. Somebody's been in here already. You can see the RTV up here, and you can see how it's been flinging grease all the way around. I don't know how it's gonna show up, but right there is a hammer and I'm assuming a chisel mark, and it's got a ridge on it. I don't know how close I can get. You see it right there. So we're gonna try and sand that smooth, because I always use, oh, now it's gonna leak all over it. That's my favorite tool to get these out. I mean, it messes them up a little bit on the one end, but it doesn't leave hammer and chisel marks. All right, we got our yoke stud or put back on. We took our scraper and some brake clean. We cleaned it up the best we could. I'll put that seal in flat and just small taps with a hammer all the way around it. That's all torqued back to spec. All right, transmission's out, transfer case is out. Transfer case is over there, transmission's on the jack. Oh, we got all this replaced in here. And now we're gonna put our clutch in. Now, I was gonna show you the new versus the old. On our new one, you can see all the grooves in it. on our old one, you can kind of see right there where there was one. So it was time for replacement anyway. It wasn't down to the rivets yet, but it was getting close. So all it is reverse order putting it back together. We put our, what did I do with the 5 wheel? Oh yeah, 5 wheels right here. We got our new bearing inside of there too. So now we can put our new clutch on there, and it's just the reverse order of the way it came out. We give you a clutch alignment tool that sits down inside of there, and we'll just put it back together. My buddy come over and help me, and we put our transmission, our transfer case, our drive shafts. We got the starter hooked back up. We got all of our wiring run. We got our slave plug back in. The only thing we got left is our exhaust. And then I went and got a new gasket for the exhaust. It just came in today, so I figured I'd come down and finish this up. I'm sorry I didn't show you putting the clutch in. When my buddy come over to help me out, we got to sitting and talking and drinking, and then a case of beer later, it was like 2, 3 in the morning. So kind of skipped over a few things there.